What is going on, everybody? Man, Mike is back with another video, back here to talk about the iPhone 15 Pro. Yes, we're dropping the official review after going through all of our benchmarks, all of our studies and comparisons. We're going to be talking about the design and hardware, the software, and the battery life. So if you're into that, make sure you guys ignite that like button, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, so that way you know my videos, that way we can sit back, relax, and see what's cracking. One last thing. Now, let's get into the video. And the first thing we're going to talk about is the design. One of the things that Apple continues to get right is their design philosophy for the iPhone 15 Pro. We know that last year was a little bit sharper around the edges, but now we see that they've rounded it out a little bit more, making it even more comfortable to hold in the hand. Y'all know what it is. And therefore, it is so much better to hold and carry around on a regular basis. We also notice around the camera rings, a little bit more shiny, a little smidgen thicker, if you will. And we know why that is the case, but that is to come later on in the video. And rounding all that out, of course, this outside of the beautiful immaculate OLED display that we get with the iPhone 15 Pro at 6.1 inches, that liquid retina XDR display, just giving you so well, so good, so tuned color. I believe it's P3. What rounds all this out is titanium. We know Apple is talking about titanium. It might even come to the rest of the devices in the foreseeable future. And they did their thing with the iPhone 15 Pro in terms of titanium. And yes, you notice the weight difference. It is a little bit lighter. Titanium frame, glass back. You can't go wrong with that design. Some things to look out for maybe in the near future is, again, maybe different camera modules for the iPhone 16. Maybe they change the design up, because this design has been around since, what, the iPhone 12. So it's possible Apple might bring us a little something different, but what we have here for the iPhone 15 Pro is a charm. Shout out to the design of the iPhone 15 Pro. And during my daily use, I don't wear any cases. I've worn a few of the Rinky cases because, of course, shout out to them being a long-time supporter of the channel. I wore it just to see how it would vibe. And look, I actually like the fit of the cases on the phone, so I did rock it from time to time, and I still do, but very, very rarely. Very, very barely. Barely. I like rocking the phone for what it was designed to be, and I take care of my phones. So based off what you see my phone still in excellent shape. If I dropped it, it did not drop on anything that would hurt the phone. And I just am very mindful where I put my phone, when it's in my pocket. It has slid out of my pocket and, fell in the car or whatever, and the crevices had to pull it out, but it has been immaculate, letting us know that that ceramic shield that they use for the front glass display, and I believe the back glass, as well as the titanium, is durable. And with this natural titanium color, if it did ding up, it really wouldn't show, because the natural titanium would hide the flaws. So if you have different colors of the iPhone 15 Pro, it would start to probably look like the natural titanium color that they sell, because that is the undertone that the color is based on too. The next thing we're going to talk about is software. At the time of the recording of this video, we're rocking iOS 17.1.1. Yes, they've had to fix some potential overheating issues. I never experienced that. They've had to address some Wi-Fi issues, but large in part, iOS 17 has been a welcome delight this year for the iPhones. Why is that? That is because of the new features that they added, which included live stickers, and you'll be able to reply with stickers with 17.2, I believe. But you have the live sticker feature, you have FaceTime features that were added, you have settings that have been revamped, you have the action button, which is part of the hardware I didn't talk about, because it's the software that really makes the action button come alive. But for me personally, I use it as a standard alert slide. I don't have to go that far with what I want to do with the action button, but I know there's certain individuals out there that have essentially designated the action button to be their shortcut button that activates or shows other shortcuts that they can use from just a simple press and hold. And that is the unique part of the customization aspect when it comes to the software that Apple is now bringing to iOS. Not to mention, when it comes to the lock screen, you're able to customize several different wallpapers based off of several different modes, or you can even rename them and have your name at the bottom just based off of the new custom mode that you created. And one of the things that I like most about lock screen is the amount of wallpapers that I can have automate and change on a regular basis, whether it's daily, on tap, hourly, right? I love that customizable feature that they've added to iOS 17. And it really brings a new level of life and refreshment to using the iPhone 15 Pro. So many iOS features that you can use and enjoy, and the hardware, but again, utilizing the software, the A17 Pro chip, haven't had no issues with, other than there are moments and times where, and it's probably more of the software than the hardware, it seems like it freezes or doesn't necessarily recognize your input, and sometimes it seems like you have to swipe away the app and then reopen the app to get that to be active again. Don't like that necessarily. I hope that gets addressed in 17.1.2 or 17.2 and onwards. I don't like the fact that that's been happening. I have not been running the beta on my iPhone 15 Pro, so I definitely shouldn't really see any bugs from that nature. So hopefully Apple is able to solve that going forward. Just a little bit of that jittery / freezing commotion that takes place when using apps. But outside of that, software has been immaculate, has been amazing. Now let's talk about those cameras. The reason why I say the cameras for now is because, well, I'm using the iPhone to shoot this video. And that's why I kind of wanted to change my setting up just a little bit. I'm using cinematic video for this, so let me know down in the comment section below what you guys think about the cinematic video. Now, the last several of my videos, unless in the iPhone 15 Pro was in the actual video, all my other videos have been shot now with the iPhone 15 Pro. Thus, hashtag shot on iPhone. I am seriously debating whether or not I want to get another iPhone for B-roll, so that way I can use an iPhone to shoot the iPhone. Otherwise, I will rely on my DSLRs or my mirrorless cameras and my Sonys, because I'm a Sony pony. I will rely on those otherwise. But for video quality alone, and some of the pictures you've seen throughout the coverage of the iPhone 15 Pro, you will see the effort Apple has put into the hardware of these cameras, the computational photography aspect of these cameras, to give us the best that we can use in our daily lives. Case in point, Apple now uses their own iPhones and their own hardware to shoot and edit their content. They've shot ads, they've shot whole events with the iPhone and edited on the Mac. How much more confident can they be in their own hardware to showcase it in such a lavish way, or a grandiose way, if you will, not in a bad way, but in a good way, to give and provide further encouragement and insurance or assurance to their customers that you can use our products for what you want to do with it. Vlog, content creation, professional work, the list goes on, and you get that with these cameras. Of course, with these, for my personal settings, I use the 1x zoom lens, or in other words, the standard wide. I switch between 24 millimeters and 35 millimeters. There is a 28 millimeter option, but for me, I like using those two. It gives me a different depth of field. And then of course, I believe you get 48 millimeters with the 2X, and then the 3X is 77 millimeters, and they all are pristine when it comes to quality and range you get with Pro Raw or Apple ProRes when it comes to shooting videos is also a major plus for Apple. So good job on the cameras. We hope that you continue this and maybe bring that 5x zoom lens down to the smaller Pro and not save it just for the bigger Pro Max. Next year with the iPhone 16, it sounds like there might be 4 cameras for the 16, and yes, the 5x zoom will come down to the little brother. But next year I may be interested in the rumored bigger 6.9 inch iPhone 16 Ultra Pro Max. We don't know yet, but we will find out soon. In the meantime, let's enjoy the iPhone 15 Pro. And all that comes down to battery life. It doesn't matter how great the device is, will it last for you to be able to enjoy and use those features? And I can happily and proudly say my iPhone 15 Pro is there when I need it. I work from 8 to 5. It is alive and well throughout that time. Don't have no worries about it at all. That's what you want. It's not about how long, screen on time, da da da. It's about the standby usage, and when you're using it, how fast is the seat, and if you need it, is it available? And in my opinion, the iPhone is there when I need it. Now again, if you do a lot of gaming on your phone, that's gonna affect your battery life. It's gonna drain a lot faster. If you do a ton of video and camera work, of course, then it's gonna drain just like a camera would naturally drain. So it's about being balanced in your usage of the phone to be able to maintain good battery life. And let's not forget about battery health in the background. I use optimized charging for the battery, and I charge it basically once a day. So I don't do a lot of charge cycles, and my battery is still at 100%. At least I think so. You'll see it. You'll see in the B-roll whether or not it is. But just know that it is very much so capable of lasting more or less a full day, even with the iPhone 15 Pro, not the Pro Max, but the Pro. And that's due to sophisticated software, solid hardware, and keeping the user in mind. And I think that's a good thing. And of course, if it does start to deplete on you, it does have fast charging. I think it's still somewhere around 27 watts fast wire charging, and then I believe you get 15 watts of Qi charging. So all that is good as well if you needed to charge in a pinch. Shout out to Apple, really honing in on that. And again, rumored next year, like a 2.5% increase in battery life, but a difference in how they're going about the battery tech that will further improve efficiency of battery life. So something to look forward to with the iPhone 16, but again, here with the iPhone 15 Pro, solid. And now down to the recommendation. Should you go out and buy the iPhone 15 Pro? I can happily say yes, if you have the iPhone 13 Pro and lower. If you have the iPhone 14 Pro or more, if you got the cash to throw, grab the iPhone 15 Pro. Wow, that rhymed. Hey. However, if you're 2 years behind, solid enough upgrade, solid enough hardware changes, but between the 14 and the 15 Pro, I would say you could wait for the 16 because that's going to bring even more changes. So it really does depend on you at the end of the day. But I can recommend this phone for those who are a few generations behind. The iPhone 15 Pro is a solid buy. Now, I would actually even almost argue you could swap from the 14 Pro if you stuck to the 15 Pro, because the iPhone 15 Pro Max did increase $100 once you increase the storage by like 1 unit, so from 128 to 256, which is crazy. Apple, you got to help us out on the storage. We got to let go of 128. Base should be 256, and it's just got to be there nowadays, especially with you touting such data heavy use cases when it comes to the cameras. So my recommendation, I give this phone a 9 out of 10. It's missing a point simply just because of those nooks and crannies. And I think it could be a little bit bigger, like 6.3 inches. 6.1 is a solid size. I think it could be a little bit bigger, and the action button itself could use some more functionality. So for those reasons, that's why it's a 9 out of 10 in my opinion. But that's, I mean, come on, it's still an A minus right there. Shout out to Apple for the iPhone 15 Pro. Let me know down in the comment section below what you guys think about the iPhone 15 Pro series or iPhones in general. Do you have one? Do you like using them? Why don't you use them, and why don't you like them? If so, are you going to be buying one soon? Let me know down in the comment section below. But again, as always, if you guys haven't already, ignite that like button, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so that way you know it's my videos. So that way we sit back, chat, see what's cracking. It's your man Micah signing out, and to the next video. And let me know if you like this little setup right here. Wait for